proudly presented by Road Tech Marine with over 4,700 products for boats, caravans and four-wheel drive. We really hope you enjoy this. Travel from there up to Rainbow and get the barge across to Fraser. It's only a short trip across this one, pretty reasonable. So when you drive on the beach, it's similar to driving on the road. The road rules are the same. If you get a bit confused, use your indicator to point the direction you're going to go to make it really clear to the other people ahead. Just like those people there, you've got to really watch people because they can't hear you coming. And a lot of people have been unfortunately hit by cars on the beach. Just the sound of the waves, you can't hear the car engine. Well, hi there everybody. We're just going to show you some of the products that we've taken along to make your whole camping experience that much more enjoyable. Firstly, on this trip up to Fraser, we've done most of our filming with these the Wi-Fi Extreme HD cameras. They're a brilliant little camera. You can sync them to your mobile phone. They shoot at 1080 pixels and 30 frames per second, so they've been absolutely sensational. Also along the way, we've been using Digitech UHF transceivers. These are a 5 watt and absolutely fantastic. You've got 80 different channels on it, and to communicate with other vehicles of what's on the road, what's happening ahead, potholes, washouts, whatever, absolutely fantastic. Now also when you go away, there's no need not to have 240 volt power. We've got with us one of the 360 watt pure sine wave inverters. These are available from 180 watts right up to 2000 watts, and they give you really the same sort of 240 volts that you get from your home 240 volt system. So they're really a great thing to have. Now also when you get up the other end, we've all got air mattresses and things. Just these simple little pumps, very inexpensive, but absolutely brilliant for blowing up air mattresses. They can also act as a vacuum and pull the power down. The good thing with these is you can just plug it into a cigarette lighter socket either in your car, or if you're lucky enough to have one of the fantastic 6-in-1 power packs, you can put it straight into there. Mick's going to give a bit of run through later on about the advantages of these brilliant units. Now also when we cook, I love to have a wine. There's nothing better than this Strahl glassware. We've actually got this at home because I used to bust all the stems off in the dishwasher. So these are pretty mug proof. They're polycarbonate, virtually indestructible. Polycarbonate's the same stuff that boat deck hatches are made out of, so just absolutely fantastic, and you can't go anywhere without your glass of wine. Well, I can't anyway. I don't encourage drink driving though. Another good thing at night are these LED lanterns. Really good. This one's got the D-cell batteries in it, but there's also a rechargeable version. But I find with even the D-cell battery model, because it's LED, it doesn't pull hardly any power and the batteries last for ages. Now also, these fantastic fans. These companion fans work off 240 volts. They also work off a cigarette lighter attachment, so again you can plug it in to either your car or plug it into your 6-in-1 battery pack. But they've also got an inbuilt battery. So you can just put the thing on. It's got a light in it. And the good thing with the front, you can just adjust it. So that'll turn. You can have it go as fast as you want. So it spreads the air all around. There's nothing worse than camping on a really hot night in a tent and you're stifling hot, you're getting no air. So these will just keep the comforts of home there with you. Now all of these great products are all available in the RTM catalogue. The catalogue's got over 4,700 products, and what's really good about it, the back page is an index to all features on how to use different things and how things work. For example, if you want to know about solar, in selecting the right solar pack for you, you just go in here, look up solar, and there's a technical article all about solar in the catalogue. So that's about it for now. We'll be passing over to Mick a bit later. Mick's going to run through solar and some other forms of generating power and the comforts of home. You know, we just encourage you, get out there and do it. It's fantastic, and you haven't got to rough it. Beach at Tiwa, very popular camping spot along Noosa North Shore. It's even if you've got a few days and you're heading up to Fraser, it's a great place to stop for a couple of days anywhere around here. Just coming along Leisure Track. This is where you come out, there's a bit of beach here and then straight up to Rainbow. Just look how beautiful natural lagoon. That's just superb. You can see why everybody's here. G'day everybody, pop into your RTM. G'day kids. Popular spot. Every man his dog's up here. Look at that water. It's up the end there is Rainbow Beach. We've just got to wait for the tide because you can see there's all washed out at the moment. Need the tide to drop a bit. What? It'll be pretty expensive per kilometre, won't it?
Yeah, the ground will get plenty of it. Good mileage that. You run over the diesel, you don't use it.
See, this is a new anti-rust process. While you're going, only go.
Anyway, everybody, we're up at Rainbow Beach. We're about to head down to Inskip. And Doug bought extra diesel. Jeez.
He's using great kilometre rate.
Let's go, boys.
You've got to be able to see it. Hopefully it doesn't turn into a towering inferno. So folks, here we are again today. I'm just going to go through a couple of things when driving on the beach. Now, the most important thing to remember when you're off-road, and I suppose it's not just to the beach, it's also out in the bush and whatnot, is tyre pressures. Now, tyre pressures are everything. When we are going on the sand, as we are here today, I like to run about 18 PSI as a standard, but if it gets really, really soft and depending on your experience, you can actually go lower. But just remember, before you go back on the bitumen, pump those tyres back up so you're at a safe PSI and load rating as specified by the tyres, and everyone gets home safe.
Good old Inskip Point. So just heading out over the sand to Inskip Point where we get the barge across to Fraser. It's important here to just keep momentum up. It's pretty soft sand. A lot of people get bogged here even before they get to the right place. G'day girls. Welcome everybody. This is the start of our big adventure and our filming up at Fraser Island. Fraser has everything from sand dunes to rainforest, from lakes to ocean, and it's a great place to test your four-wheel driving skills and learn a bit. Along the way we're going to try and teach you some of the tips and things to keep you out of trouble, and we hope you enjoy the adventure. Thanks for coming along. Fraser, it's pretty important to get all the right permits. You do need a camping permit and also a permit to drive on the beach. And of course you've got to pay your barge fees, which is return trip. All the permits are available on the government website. And just make sure you've got those and display them in the vehicle. And also obey the speed limits. There are speed limits on the beach. And also for your own safety. One of the most dangerous things on the beach is when people drive too fast, they turn too fast, the wheels bog in and they end up rolling over. So, you know, speed's everything. Always be cautious. Whatever you do, be careful. Always watch your tides before you come out here. Work the low tides and just be safe.
I'd have to fully agree with that. Also, watch out for washouts too, guys. That is where the fresh water or the lake itself, the rivers, run out to the ocean. Make sure you watch those before we...
Fraser Island, being a national park, is abundant with wildlife. We saw this eagle on the way up, heading up to Sandy Cape, and the dingoes on Fraser are amongst the purest breed in Australia. Because they've been on an island, there's been no influence from other animals or crossbreeding at all.
So here we are, just approaching Fraser. Largest sand island in the world, and one of the best ever four-wheel driving places. Iconic in Australian four-wheel driving.
Here we go, the mighty Fraser Island. 123 kilometres up to the sandy cape. That's our destination.
When you're driving on the beach, it's usually pretty firm down in the water, so you actually don't need to have low range four-wheel drive. We usually just are in high range, and even quite often if the sand's hard you can go back to just normal two-wheel drive. Saves a fair bit of fuel.
Point was blocked, so we had to use the inland road. Just keep in mind on Fraser, inland roads have a speed limit of 30 kilometres an hour.
This is the track through to Eastern Beach.
Just hang it back a little just to get all in out of the shot, that's all.
Okay, mate. Magnificent sight. We're coming down onto the beach.
Just remember, most people get bogged coming through the soft sand onto the beach, so just keep the momentum up, keep driving at a steady speed and stay on the track.
Keep your momentum up. Another thing with beach driving, always remember, is keep your headlights on. You got to watch for pedestrians, because they can be there. They often can't see you, or they can't hear you because of the noise coming out from the waves, so always keep an eye out. And with beach driving, the rules are like on the road. Plenty of traffic on Fraser. See how he's got his indicator on, indicating what side he's going to pass us on.
There's something else to remember when you're travelling. You never know where the next fuel stop is, so it's always worthwhile carrying a bit of extra fuel, even if you think you won't need it. This range of Septor fuel tanks, we've got fuel and water tanks. These are exceptionally good because of the profiles. Like these are both 20 litres. You've got an upright 20 litre and a more squat one, so if you're restricted on room, you can easily fit them. The water ones in these don't have any taste, so that's really good. They're a blue, and there's another one that's a yellowy mustard colour for your diesel. It's pretty important to carry the right fuels in the right colour cans, because in an emergency, people want to know what's in that can, but they're extremely good product. They've all got pouring spouts, funnels, the whole lot. So grab one of those, make sure you take one.
It's a little washout here. You get a lot of fresh water coming from inland running out to the sea, so just always be careful going through it. It's quite a lot of those all the way up along Fraser. So you've just got to keep your wits about you and stay alert. It goes for all four-wheel driving. This Black Rock's coffee rock that you get quite often up in Fraser. It comes through at some of the tides. Places like this, just be careful and just watch, go in between the wave surges if it's coming right up to the rocks, but you certainly wouldn't go around here at a higher tide. Just stay out of that water. Fraser's a popular spot. This is midweek in the off-season. It's still a bit like Pitt Street. Cars, buses. It is a popular spot. Mick just said, Eli Creek. Eli Creek's renowned for some of the freshest water you can possibly get. can see from the cars ahead too, nobody knows about it. Good to wash under the car.
This is all the RTM vehicles of the mighty Eli Creek. Eli Creek is renowned for having some of the freshest water possible, purest water possible. Absolutely magnificent. Great spot. We're about halfway up Fraser. We've been drawing a lot of attention coming up along the beach, even back at Inskip Point. We got bailed up by a chap who just been in and picked up a catalogue from the RTM up at Harvey Bay, and we're sending some guys down to the mighty Kiwana store, so word has travelled.
Hey!
So here we have a fantastic range of LED driving lights. These are the latest LEDs. They're fantastic. They're of great construction, really, really solid. So we start off with our light bars. We have a smaller light bar than this. We also have a larger light bar as well. So come in store and check them out. Also these spotlights, they come in a couple of different setups. So you've got a combination where you've got flood and spotlight. You have a dedicated just spotlight, or you have a dedicated floodlight.
Comes the mighty Mahino shipwreck, well-known spot on Fraser Island. It was being towed to Japan to be scuttled and came across a cyclone up here. I think it was about 1935 or somewhere around there, and got washed up on the beach and has stayed here ever since. Not much left of it now.
The Mahino shipwreck is famous to Fraser Island. It attracts over 200,000 visitors each year. The Mahino went aground in 1935 after being towed back to Japan. It took them 2 days to find it, and subsequently after that it was used for weddings of all things, and there's later.
Alright, let's get this show on the road before those people come. Make sure you're in four-wheel drive, guys. Alright, let's do it. Phil, to stay a bit close to me and follow my lead. Go.
At the top end of 75 Mile Beach, you've got Indian Head. You can't go around Indian Head by beach, so you've got to use the bypass. The sand on the approach is pretty soft, but as we said before, just keep the momentum going. Once you get off the beach, the track up through the middle is pretty solid sand, but it's just this approach is really soft. As you can see here, just keep the momentum going, not a problem in the world. We're just in high range four-wheel drive, does it easily. Come out the other side and absolutely beautiful Indian Head Beach. It's a magnificent spot. The distance up there is Nagala Rocks. That's the next cutting we have to do, and that's a famous spot that people have a lot of problems in.
What a sheltered little corner, that's just magnificent. Look at the colour of that water.
The next cutting you come out on, we come down onto Orchid Beach. On the track coming across at Orchid, there's Champagne Falls, and we'll stop and have a look at that on the way back. We're pretty eager to get right up to the top end, but it's just a beautiful run. The distance up there is at Nagala Rocks I was talking about before, and although it's difficult, if you're sensible and you've got the right gear, it's not a problem. The main thing is get out, have a look and see what's ahead of you. This is Nagala, so we got out, had a good look around and just check the whole thing out. Then you can safely go through. We
just come around the corner. There's this big hole we were looking at earlier. Slow and steady does it. We're still only in high range 4-wheel drive, but we know what to expect. Once you come out of here, you've got pretty soft sand up around this corner. But again, you can see Mick here, just keeping the momentum going. Not a problem in the world. It's all soft over the top, and this is where people just do stupid things, don't have correct tyre pressures, whatever, and they get stuck. Do the right thing, not a problem in the world. It's actually really good fun. You can see just how soft the sand is. Great stuff. Now we come down the home stretch and run straight up to Sandy Cape. This is Phil going next. Same thing, just showing you from different view. Just keep the momentum going. Not a problem in the world. A really good experience. You do something like this, it just makes you feel like you're alive. Great fun. Really gets the adrenaline going. You can see we just all took our time.
Yeah, copy, mate.
These 2 ways are a really good thing.
Yeah, mate, they certainly are. They're great. Now, there's really 2 lanes. They do work quite live in here. They're quite clear.
Yeah, clear as a bell. Are these the 3 watt or the 5 watt?
No, mate, looking left and right here now, they're actually the 5 watt.
Here comes Dougie. Yeehaw!
Good one!
Not a problem. Just follow the tracks in front, just keep going, just keep the speed steady, the momentum of the vehicle will keep you going. As we said earlier, we're running about 18 pounds. If you get stuck, drop your pressure down onto the home stretch. Just absolutely beautiful. The beach from here up to Sandy Cape is just absolutely magnificent. A lot of rocks along the way, but it's pretty safe. The next day, you'll see when we came back, this was all really washed away, so we had to do a bit of rock hopping. It's important when you're crossing rocks to keep your tides in mind and stay really high on the beach. We stay up as high as we possibly can. Don't be tempted to go around the front. If you can't negotiate up high, don't go there. Lots of cars have been lost just by people doing that. Once you get past the rocks, beautiful run up to Sandy Cape.
See,
Just
we're reaching the
beautiful.
top end of Fraser Island now, and the vegetation's totally different again. Much more barren. The beach today's been beautiful conditions to drive on. Absolutely wonderful. We're very near the top of Fraser now.
Righty guys, we're just about there.
Great feeling to reach the top end of Fraser, Sandy Cape. A lot of people think the lighthouse is pretty famous up here, is right on the point, but it's not. It's actually about 1 kilometre up around this corner. Fishing up here is spectacular. There's sharks everywhere, but it's worth the effort to drive this extra bit, about 200 kilometres up the beach, and you can be here.
What was that?
See how calm the water's getting now?
I know, out of the wind, it's beautiful.
We've travelled almost 200 kilometres since leaving Noosa North Shore.
Yeah,
Fraser
very top
Island
end of the
stretches over
largest sand island in the
123
world.
kilometres in length and 22 kilometres at its widest point. With an area of 184,000 hectares, it's the largest sand island in the world. It's the most amazing place. It's World Heritage listed and it ranks
This is it,
up
guys.
with
Very
Uluru, Kakadu and the Great Barrier Reef. At the highest point, its sand dunes reach a height of 250 metres above sea level, and it holds a whole lot of lakes. They've been formed by leaves depositing in the bottom that form a hard base, and they trap the normal water heading down to the ocean, and these lakes have some of the purest water in the world. Just the most amazing place, and it's worth the trip. Do it, everybody, just do it. Get out there and enjoy it.
See how calm the water's getting now? Out of the wind is beautiful.
On the way up, we saw the magnificent coloured sands. The immense sand blows and cliffs of coloured sands are part of the longest and most complete age sequence of coastal dune systems in the world, and they're still evolving. They're a continuous record of climatic and sea level changes over the last 700 years. And as I mentioned earlier, some of the dunes are up to 250 metres high. It's just the most amazing place. It's a place of immense beauty.
Well, here we are right at the top end of Fraser. Fantastic place up here, Sandy Cape. And we'll just show you the RTM campsite up here. We've had an absolutely fantastic day running the whole way up along the beach. It's just been absolutely brilliant.
Hi there everybody. Mick was going to do this, but he had to go back to the makeup tent and get freshened up, so I thought I'd take this one over. This is the 6-in-1 power station, and it's a must when you're travelling. First up, you've got a jump starter for your vehicle, positive, negative either side, get you out of trouble. It'll crank, it's 900 amp hour crank start, so it'll start most vehicles. Next, you've got a power inverter in it, so you can have your benefit of 240 volts at home. This is a 400 watt inverter, so it's not a little one. Another great advantage. You've also got an air compressor at the back to inflate your tyres. Just pull that out. There we've got the gauge. That works in a similar way to the automatic ones on the service stations, where you can preset the pressure on the front and it'll just automatically adjust it till you get the right pressure. Next, you've got your normal 12 volt sockets. Ideal, as I was saying earlier, to run that little pump or the fan or anything like that. You've also got a work light, and you've also got USB charging facilities. So it's great. We all have mobile phones these days, so you can keep your phone up to date. You can also charge your cameras and whatever. So great little unit. That's a 6-in-1. There's also a 3-in-1. But great.
We're going to do a little cooking demo soon, so we've just got it all set up here at the site. There's Mick up there. G'day, Mick. Good. Great day today, wasn't it?
Oh, fantastic.
It was brilliant. I know. See, Roadtech Marine, we walk the talk, guys. We walk the talk.
Hi, I'm Mick from Roadtech Marine, and today I want to talk to you about our fantastic range of PowerTech fridges. Now, these guys come with a factory 5-year warranty on the compressor and 3 years on everything else. Peace of mind when buying, I think. So let's start off with the 65. It's a dual zone setup, so you've got a fridge and a freezer, or either. A fantastic fridge for the money. Then we jump across to these guys. Now, these guys start at the 30 litre. They go from 30 up to 40 and then up to 50. But what's unique about these guys is the footprint. So the footprint always remains the same. It's just the height that changes. So for yachties, boaties, 4-wheel drivers, these fridges really are good because they fit in the tight compartments, tight spaces. Another thing with these guys as well, unique in the fact that they not only run on 12 volt, but they run on 24 volt and also plug in the wall 240. They have a battery safe setting on them, so they're not going to drain your car. And the insulation in these guys is 100%. These fridges work really, really well. Okay, so another fantastic feature with these fridges, they're extremely efficient, okay? You're looking at from 0.7 of an amp. That is really, really good off-road. You know, when you're out in the bush, to have something that draws as low as that makes a big difference. Also, in this range of fridges, we've got these fantastic bags. Now, bags are a good investment, people. They do help, they do prolong the cooling process, even when you switch it off or you're changing up from batteries to batteries. Okay, so we're going to take a look in one of these guys. As you can see, you got your 2 compartments here. You've got what they call a butter box or it's really good to put, you know, things like butter, fruit, veggies and whatnot in here. Now this fridge can be a fridge or a freezer, okay? This one's a fridge or a freezer, whereas this guy that we've got over here, he's a dual zone. So you've got a dedicated freezer and a dedicated fridge. And being a 65, that gives you plenty of options. Lots of space to load up all your goodies for a long trip.
Well, Mick's giving you all a really good run through on the PowerTech 12 volt fridges and the advantages of those, but there's still a place in every camper's pack to carry the good old ice box. Now some of the features of these, the Brass Monkey ice boxes that we've just put in, is they're polyurethane filled, so the insulation qualities, the thermal qualities are really good. They come complete with stainless steel latches on the front, so that's a big issue. There's really good sturdy grip handles that are built into the side. There's a good drain plug on the side to get the water out easily. Now these will keep your ice cold, your food cold for up to 4 days. And the good thing is they come in sizes from 50 litres right up to 160 litres. So get in and have a look. Don't discount it. Yes, you need the 12 volt, but definitely pack one of these little babies as well. Good old Brass Monkey. Hi there everybody. Now just because you're camping doesn't mean you need to totally rough it. A must for every traveller is the Grey Nomad cookbook, the original Grey Nomad cookbook. The beauty of it is it keeps utensils to a minimum. We're going to cook everything tonight on just one single burner with a fry pan, so let's get underway. So what we're going to do firstly, actually tonight what we're cooking is Kyneton lamb stew and dumplings. Now for those of you who might be wondering where Kyneton is, Kyneton's in the Macedon Ranges in Victoria, and it's well renowned for its sale yards for selling prize lamb and top quality lamb. So this is a recipe from that area. So we start off just with a hot, very hot pan, just sear some lamb chops. These are just 4/4 chops. We're just going to sear and brown them on either side, then put them in another pan. It doesn't take long to chops. Cook them in garlic, gave them about another half a minute. Just going to add the vegetables. We've just got baby carrots and beans. Now the recipe is for 4, but we're actually cooking about 12 chops here because there's a fair crew here in our production team. So just add a few peppercorns. We'll add a couple of bay leaves in. Bay leaves are always good in any stew. Absolutely brilliant. Now we're going to add some stock. You can either add powdered stock and about 2.5 cups of water to 4 chops, but we're going to add Campbell's real stock, easy to bring away with you. And then the almighty Old El Paso medium taco sauce, and just put that in amongst it all. The final stages now of the Kyneton lamb stew and dumplings. Now's the time to add the dumplings. It's pretty important at this stage, turn the heat down really low. What we're going to do is just tablespoon the dumpling mix. You want about the consistency of cream, and just about a tablespoon, just dollops on top. Here we go everybody, Kyneton lamb stew with dumplings. Yummo, yummo, we're all hungry. Looks fantastic. So make sure you get your Grey Nomad cookbook, the original, written by Gary Johnson. Just brilliant, easy to prepare, and as we showed you, we did it all on one gas burner. Beautiful.
Wherever you go, we just have to take the old fishing rod. Make sure you take your fishing rod. Have a ball.
Still up the top end of Fraser, it's Sandy Cape. We're going to have the Fremantle fry up this morning, straight from Gary Johnson's cookbook again. So, yeah, please do yourself a favour. Go into an RTM shop, have a look at this book, purchase one, put it in your kit. So, page 29, Fremantle fry up. So this morning, we're going to start off by cooking up our little chipolata sausages. As you can hear, they're already away sizzling. Going to do some bacon in this pan here, and that'll be the start of our process. They're little chipolatas over here with the bacon. Quickly transferring them across. Very little fat left over, which is good. Ideal for our pineapple rings to go into next. So we just open up a can, whack them in there, let them have a bit of a sizzle going on. Get them so they've got a nice brown coat over the top of them. All right. Also, what we can start doing is getting our eggs prepared. We'll then get our baked beans ready so they can go into the pan, get warmed up so we can finish off the complete breakfast. These non-stick pans again from RTM. Beautiful, they hold the heat, easy to clean, and the beauty is removable handles. Easy for storage while you're camping. And lovely glass top to go with it. Keep all the vermin
Boy
out.
Scouts, we came prepared with our fly spotters. Available all RTM stores. The March flies are terrible up here. Yeah, Dougie!
Oh, gee!
Hang on, we lost
Oh,
it.
now it's gone down. Pineapple's cooked, we transfer it over to the meat dish, like so. We get our cheese, good old sliced cheese, whack him on the top of your pineapple rings, like so. Egg. Now watch how good this egg comes out of this fry pan. Very easy. Put him into the pan as well. Just to sit there and keep warm until we do our baked beans, which are just about to go on right now, only for about a minute, and then toast is already done, we're ready to go. So get those knives and forks and plates organised.
What are you looking at? You just keep cooking, Dougie. I'll look after this.
No worries.
As we mentioned up here, the March flies or something else, if you're not fortunate enough to have one of our fly guns, make sure when you go camping, you bring the Bushmans. I'm like Quick Draw McGraw, you're getting tied up. Bushmans is fantastic. March flies hate it, midgies hate it, so make sure you take one of those with you, or the mighty fly gun. How you going, Doug?
Mate, God, pretty good.
Good on you, mate. A couple of items for your four-wheel drive adventure. Definitely carry a good set of jumper leads. Don't get ones that are just too thin in the cable and they won't carry the current. These are heavy duty, 700 amp hour. Now, if you remember our 6-in-1, that actually has a 900 amp hour crank start to start your car, so you do need something that's pretty hefty. These also have a light on the clamp that actually lets you see where you are, so at night, absolutely brilliant. And there's 4.5 metres of cable. So that's a necessity. So quite often you might be able to get close to the vehicle, the battery's the other side, so 4.5 metres is an excellent thing. Another item on the safety side is always carry a good first aid kit. These particular kits are excellent value for money. There's 300 pieces in there. There's a whole list on the back of all the gear. Make sure you carry a good first aid kit.
Now,
Definitely.
where would you find something more healthier than that for a breakfast? Start of the day, full of protein, full of fibre, and guaranteed to make you go the whole day. But don't forget where the recipe comes from. It comes out of the great Nomads cookbook by Gary Johnson. So do yourself a favour, get into RTM, purchase one, stick it in your kit, and happy travelling.
Move over. I want my
Oh, well, there you go. Phil, get in there, mate. See you later,
When we
man.
did the cooking segments, you would have seen we did we're using these fantastic campfire pots and pans and saucepans and everything. The beauty of these is they've all got a ceramic surface, they're non-stick, but this surface is all made from natural stone. There's no toxins coming off that we're used to from the old Teflon products. It's a fantastic product, just nothing sticks to it. The other advantage of these is they've got a removable handle. So when you're on a campfire, no problems in just coming along, clicking the handle on and off you go, instead of burning it and you've got a red hot handle with the whole thing. The other good thing is temperature rating, these will go up to 450 degrees C, so that's really hot. So they're just a really good item. As we said, we did all the cooking in it, absolutely fantastic product.
We left camp the top end of Fraser early the next morning at the start of the run-out tide. Just remember, it's always important to travel on the beach, preferably on a run-out tide, so you know you've got plenty of time if you do get stuck. But Cyclone Marcia was bearing down on us, and there were pretty bad predictions of where it could actually hit, and it was forecast to come right down over Fraser. So we just thought we'd better get out as soon as we possibly could to keep safe.
Yeah, she still looks pretty gnarly up here, guys. Let's pull up at the high. Just waiting to counteract to go through the tides. Count the waves. Might get out and have a bit of a walk.
It's important if you're not sure of an area to get out and walk it first, and that's what we did here. And then you've just got to time it in between between the wave surges and when you go through, but you've got to firstly get out, have a look, make sure the ground's firm. A lot of vehicles have been lost where they just go into sinkholes and disappear. So safety is everything. You can see here where Mick's just timing it and waiting, and just goes when the waves surge is right. And just keep safe.
Doug just went.
Hey Dougie, I'm just going to jump out and spot you, mate.
No, it's all good.
Sure.
Yeah, not a problem.
It's always worthwhile spotting, which is where somebody gets out of the car in front and just watches and you don't hit any rocks and they can guide you over it. Once you put a rock through your sump, you're absolutely gone. In this case, Dougie knows his vehicle pretty well, so not a problem in the world. Just here, Dougie got stuck in the soft sands. It's worthwhile showing you some of the techniques to get out.
The shite box. Poor guy on his own, silly driver models.
Hi there again, folks. Now, before heading off-road, there is a couple of things we need to consider. Okay, yep, has the car been serviced? Is the car fine? We do our basic checks and whatnot, that's all good. There's another thing that we need to consider though. If we go off-road somewhere remote, how are we going to get ourselves back out of there if we get into trouble? So today I want to talk to you a little bit about recovery gear. Now, at Roadtech Marine, we're all for adventure, but sometimes adventure can get us into trouble. So here's a couple of ideas to get you and your family or your mates back out of trouble. So we start off here. This is a snatch strap. This is invaluable, okay? This will get you out of a tough spot between you and another vehicle, or if you're traveling with a mate, whatnot. Excellent to have on board. This is a flat toe strap, okay? Not quite as good as a snatch strap, but it's going to help you out in certain places. Then we go down to an equaliser strap. This one here is a pretty cool one. So for basic vehicles that just have standard recovery points or lockdown points from factory, you can put these from side to side and equalise your main snatch strap. Then we move on to a rated shackle. Now guys, I can't stress this enough. Rated shackles really should be used whenever you're doing a snatch recovery, any sort of towing. You'll see a rated shackle by the safe working limits and the ratings on the actual bow shackle. Make sure you get a bow shackle that is going to meet or exceed what you're trying to do with your weight vehicle. Another thing which has become unfortunately common practice that we see all too much of is people snatching off standard tow balls. People, this is a big no-no, very dangerous stuff. If you have a look online, you can research it for yourself. There have been people unfortunately killed by using these. Another thing you might want to consider in your kit, a pair of gloves, a snatch dampener as well, just if something goes wrong and it breaks, it's going to fall to the ground. So another thing I want to talk to you about is the old high lift jack, or some people call it a widow maker. Now it doesn't need to be a widow maker if we follow directions and we stick to it. Okay, this is a really good tool for four-wheel drivers to get themselves out of bogs and whatnot. It just allows you to get the height if you are stuck. Some people do vehicle repairs, but I strongly suggest that you have the vehicle chopped properly and you have axle stands before you even dream of getting under a vehicle that has been jacked with a high lift jack. Okay, so how these work? We lock the lever up like so. You'll notice that the pins are sliding up and down. It's also a good idea to actually recovery.
He was just stuck on the track going through. We're just shoving some sand out. Lowered his tyre pressures. We'll probably snatch strap him back and see if he can get back on his own. Don't ever try and just drive when you're already half gone. Stop straight away. He's digging himself a bigger hole. Feel the sand out from the back. Lowering the pressure with a lot more traction, bigger footprint on the sand.
Here old Dougie also got stuck. The sand was just so soft. So it's just important to don't panic and dig yourself a deeper hole. Just get out your max track, whatever you've got. Dig all the sand away from the tyre either side. You still want to make a pretty flat platform to get in and out of the actual bog. It's always worthwhile carrying one of those Jeep shovels that we sell in RTM. And teamwork, you know, four-wheel driving, everybody helps everybody. And here's some of the guys that we helped earlier, now they're helping us. So just a great effort all round. Good stuff.
We're all clear.
Well, we've had a lineup of cars here, just on the southern side of Nagala Rocks after everybody getting bogged coming around. It's pretty soft sand. It's been a good lesson in recovery.
That night we thought we'd make camp up at the Orchid Beach campground that's high set and pretty protected because of the wind coming. But before that we decided we'd head across to the western side of the island, across to a most magnificent place called
That water crossing
Thumba Creek.
is nice and gradual, mate. There's nothing sharp in it.
I think I said earlier that Fraser's 700 years old. It's not, it's 700,000 years old. I think I got excited going around Sandy Cape. But anyway, it's really worth pointing out that on the western side of the island is the Great Sandy Straits. This is where we're heading across to with Thumba Creek. And that separates Fraser Island from the mainland. And that's listed by the Convention on Wetlands of International Importance. So it's a pretty spectacular place. Some of the rainforests here are found. They're the tallest, highest rainforest grown in sand in the world. So there are a lot of reasons just that Fraser is just so important ecologically. This is the mighty Wathumba Creek on the western side of the island. We just thought we'd put a few slides in as the weather wasn't good, so we took these from a previous trip. But it just shows you how absolutely magnificent it all is. The wetlands are a rare place in itself, and there's mangrove colonies, seagrass beds, and up to 400,000 migratory birds. So it's just the most amazing, beautiful place.
Driving down the beach from Orchid Beach, just going to find a campground for this evening. So here we go. Nice and easy does it.
We made camp for the night up at Orchid Beach, and it's just amazing how sheltered it was. It was blowing an absolute gale down the beach, and up here is just protected, and it's a lovely place to camp. Hot and cold showers, so we were wrapped with that. Power, all sorts of things are there, luxuries of home, so it's just a great place to catch up if you need a bit of a break.
We're just leaving camp for the night at Orchid Beach because of a cyclone, impending cyclone coming down the coast. The tide's still up at the moment, so we're just taking a back road around Orchid Head, just staying up above, so we can get round and we'll get down to probably Champagne Falls. The track's pretty good, but again, it's an inland sand track, but with the rain overnight, she's pretty firm. All's good. driving along these sandy tracks, there's some pretty deep ruts in different places. Two things is just stay in the rut, the car will steer itself along it, and just stay in the other tyre tread. And remember to keep your thumbs on top of the steering wheel, not locked in around it, because people have been known to break their thumbs, you know, if you suddenly jerk. So you just sort of go with the flow, nice and steady. Just follow the tracks.
So here we come down onto the beach.
Oh, look at that.
Just a really good feeling.
Here we come, look at that. Here we come down from Orchid Beach.
As far as you can see, that's Sandy Cape.
Beautiful.
Then down we come down onto the beach. With the big seas overnight, even though it doesn't look too bad up here, we know ahead there would have been a lot of washouts and the beach will be very different to the other day. You just got to stay really high on the beach. You can see how far the water is up, yet this is a fairly low tide. Storm surges just push everything right up much higher. It can lift the sea, you know, 2 metres at a time, so you've got to be careful. But this bloke's got through, so we'll give it a go.
Sometimes you get trapped with these beaches, you won't be able to drive along them soon. When you get a cyclone, it actually puts low pressure on the earth. That's why the water comes up more with the moon. You get your highs, can go up even another 2 metres. So it all makes it pretty hair-raising.
You can see how the weather's really deteriorated. It's just going downhill fast, and actually evacuated Fraser overnight, so we have to get off the island anyway. There's a cyclone impending. We're here at Champagne, where's this? Champagne Falls? In here. Champagne Falls, and you can see the ocean out there. And that's the beach we've got to drive along. Bloody hell. She's blowing about 40 knots, I reckon. Whoa! Well, as we said, there's a cyclone. And man, we're starting to feel it here. That sea is angry. Angry plus. You can see once again, even though the tide's got really low, we've got to hug right up really high. Like the storm surges push us way up the beach. But you know, the sand's still pretty firm because of the rain and whatever, so that's the main thing. If it's firm, you can drive on it. Just be safe and watch out for rocks. You know, as the waves come up, the rocks just start pushing out and appearing, so you've really got to keep your wits about you.
So you can see going along here, we're really hugging up high. This cyclone's bearing down, making it going tough. We've got to get back to the barge somehow, so just watch the waves. If you have to head up higher up, you just head up into the grass. Just don't get in the water.
The weather's just getting worse by the minute. Terrible.
I hate this rain, mate. It sucks. It's good, isn't it?
When we drove up the day before yesterday, this was all covered in sand. It just shows Mother Nature. She has no fury. You cannot beat nature. You just got to keep your eyes wide open. There wasn't any way off the beach other than to tackle these rocks. The thing is, go slow, keep your eyes out. If you need to put a lookout out in front, put a lookout out, just to watch your sump and everything else. Just slow and steady, watch it, there's no hurry. And then there's the inland road up here which will get us safely around this headland. Even the inland roads are really starting to get washed out. So much rain was falling, at least it sheltered here. We had no way of getting across the beach.
Corrugations on the road here. Holy dooly.
As we approach the ferry back to get across Fraser, this is where we drove up the first time. It was dead level. Now there's a good drop of probably 700-800 mils. So what you always do, you don't just try and drive it. Get out, have a look, check the scene out. What's the best way to get across? Work it out, then you can cross it safely.
Comes the barge in to save everybody from the cyclone. Pretty wild ride in the old barge.
We safely got onto the barge and got off the other side, Fraser, on the Rainbow Beach side. It's a pretty hair-raising trip even on the old barge. You were zigzagging all over the water. And I don't think there were too many more barges would have gone across today. It's just a great... We hope you enjoyed this, and as we say, just get out there, do it. You'll really love it.
Well, everybody, we hope you've got the most out of this trip. We've certainly had a great time. Pop into your local RTM, because honestly, we, amongst all of us, are a wealth of knowledge, and we're happy to pass it on and share it with you. We've had a great time, and we hope you've got something out of this and you understand a bit more about four-wheel driving. We just encourage everybody, get out there and do it, because honestly, you'll really, really enjoy it. What do you reckon?
Absolutely, Phil, mate. All the way from Inskip Point, all the way up to the Sandy Cape, mate. It's been a fantastic trip, guys. We've had fun along the way. We're showing you some great products, and even Doug's 10-ton semi off-road made it.
Yep. Well, anyway, people, it's been a great adventure. The most important thing, stay safe while you're getting here to your destination.
Yeah, that's a big thing.
And you know, please stick to the road rules and all that sort of gear, because then everybody gets there in one piece and safely. And yeah, come and get out and enjoy what you can.
Fantastic. Thanks, everybody. Pop into your RTM. Well, everybody, we hope
Grab one of the beautiful free-range eggs here. Give them a bit of a crack. And that one didn't actually end up too good, but we'll go again. Not everybody likes a soft egg in the centre. So we'll grab another fella. Get a little bit of heat into there. And, oh, did it again.
All good Boy Scouts, we came prepared with a fly swatter. The marsh flies up here or something else. Dougie, hey!
Oh!
Available from RTM.
The only lever matter, this is how we cook stuff, mate. We get some crackhead, mate, that comes in and pukes in it. No, I'm not even drinking yet. And this looks like... What I'm politely trying to say is... It's beautiful.
Booyah!
Might want to stop cutting.